श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्ताम् सदा हृदि। रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्। ஷீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
Now, this is the first quotation from Alvar's Purpa Mudala Pullerumbadi Ondrindiye. நற்பால் அயோத்தியில் வாழும் சராச்சரம் முற்றமும் நற்பாலுக்கு இத்தனன் நான்முகனார் பெற்ற நாட்டுளே. The GP is group. So என்றும் பேசுகிறபடியே ஜங்கமஸ்தாவர விபாகமர. Let us pause here and then understand. Now this is a context where Rama's incarnation is about to be over. And not only the purpose of the incarnation of Rama was to annihilate the evils which gave a lot of trouble to the gods. Now I am here just giving you another point of the purpose, namely taking an incarnation as a human being in the, of course, as you understand from the Ramayana episode, the main purpose is to wipe out the evil. Vinashaya cha dushkritam, as is said in Bhagavad Gita. In order to destroy the negative aspects of the society. But at the same time, the twin purpose of this incarnation will be remaining a rather giving a role model or setting the best example of a human being's behavior. This is the second purpose. Of course, the main purpose was to help the gods. Devakaryam talaikattuvadarka. Devakaryam. That just earlier that we read it. Devakaryam talaikattuvadarka. In order to complete the the process of the fulfillment of the request of the gods to remove their troubles. So that was the purpose. Of course, this is a byproduct, namely acting like a human being and facing a lot of problems just like us, and what to do is given by Rama's incarnation. Starting from the very first birth as Rama, it was of course a peculiar birth. So after a long prayer, especially with the Putra Kameshti Yaga, Dasharatha begot these 4 children. And Rama, as Mahavishnu, decided to be born, I can say, in 4 parts. Lakshmana being the incarnation of Adishesha, Bharata being the incarnation of the Conch, Panchajanyam, and Shatrughna being the incarnation of the Chakram, Sudarshanam, the disc. And therefore, so after the decision is made, Sankalpam is made by Lord Sriman Narayana to come within the family of Dasharatha. The first point that we learn from the childhood of Rama is Pitruvakya Paripalana. acting according to the elders' advice. Not only parents' advice, but also elders' advice. Pitru, you can also say that you are following the ancestral tradition. So, Pitruvakya Paripalanam. At all costs, the entire order of the parents or any other elder should be executed perfectly without any flaw. That is the first principle that we get as we behave in the human being form. So starting with that, because friendship with the fellow men, friendship with animals, the fauna and the flora in the forest, and then of course the last point being Sharanagata Rakshana, protection of the surrenderies by offering the shelter, succor at any, in any form. Now again, of course, the protection to be extended to a surrendery will be what we call a righteous one. A wrong person cannot be chosen as a surrendery and then we can favor him. So, as we say with regard to donation, dhanam. So, Satpatra Dhanam is very important. Giving alms to the right needy fellow is very important, and therefore Sharanagata Rakshanam is also based upon such a donation, that is offering of the shelter to the right personality. Now Vibhishana, even when he has repeatedly asked, do you want to become the king of Sri Lanka? He stoutly says no. He refuses to accept the kingdom as the benefit of Sharanagati. And therefore, that we understand as a human being, that we cannot expect anything from Sharanagati as we do to the God, or as we do to the teacher, preceptor, Acharya. Now, the last situation in which Rama is to return to the headquarters, namely Vaikuntham. We say in Tamil parlance, Tannadi Chodikki Ezhundaruluvathu. He comes back to the heaven, the brightest heaven. Shodhi. Shodhi is Jyoti in Sanskrit. Full of enlightenment, full of light, full of positive quality, full of, especially called in Sanskrit, Sattvam. The Vaikuntham is made up of Sattvam. It is an abstract material which is always the best, good for all. And therefore what happened was, as Alvar said, Rama, when he showed his Shuddha Sattvam, yes, and there is nothing called Ashuddha Sattvam. There is no impure Sattvam is not there. So Sattvam also means always pure. Sattvam is the best quality. And what happened was Rama showed the people of Ayodhya how he goes back to Vaikuntham. He gets into the river Sarayu. There's a river nearby in the city, to the city, and Sarayu is the river. So Rama enters into the river. And all the people enter into the river. It's not a question of drowning along with Rama. It is what we call going on the road of moksha, emancipation. And what happened was, on the river bank, you find grass. You find all living beings like pet animals, say, for example. We are not referring to the beasts in the forest. Even an ant, we call it in Sanskrit pipilika, an insect like a mosquito. for example. So a fly, makshika. Then you have the word mosquito, mashakaha. So any tiny living being, any flimsy living being, and again anything, any tiny non-living being like grass. So everybody is taken to moksha. That means you can say Ayodhya is emptied. The capital city has nothing to see. Ayodhya city, nothing to see. So Indra Gopa, yeah. So protected by Lord Indra. Indra Gopa. So Ayodhya, Mathura, Maya, Kashi, Kanchi, Avantika, Puri, Dwaravati, Chaiva, Saptaite, Mokshadayakaha is a what we call piti verse, general knowledge verse in Sanskrit. We have 7 cities named. That doesn't mean all other cities are not like these 7 cities, but these are all very important cities where God lived for some time, and then we also have the fortune of living there for some time. Ayodhya, Rama's place. Mathura, Krishna's place. Maya, again Krishna's place. Kashi, where Lord Shiva advises the Ashtakshara mantra, especially the Rama mantra, to all living beings in Varanasi. Sometimes it is misspelled as Varanasi. It is Varanasi. There are 2 rivers called Vara and Asi. And therefore, because of the twin rivers, it's called Varanasi. It's Kashi. Kashi is remembered, valued, respected as Mukti Kshetra, where one can get emancipation very easily. So, Maranan Muktihi, we say. Maranan Muktihi. If one dies at Kashi, he is sure to get visa to the heaven, rather released from the bondage of world. Now here, Ayodhya, Mathura, Maya, Kashi, Kanchi, only place in Tamil Nadu. So the Lord Varadaraja resides there. He came out of the sacrifice performed by Ashwamedha sacrifice performed by Lord Creator Brahma, and he is so powerful that the Kanchi, the Kshetram, the Divya Kshetram, has been one of the 7 cities of Mukti. Avantika, there is another city. Puri, Jagannatha Kshetram, Orissa. Dwaravati, again Dwaraka, the island where Lord Krishna lived for a long time. So Narpal Ayodhyil Varum Characharam Muttam. So all the long-lived movable beings and immovable beings were given the liberation. Narpalukku Uittanan. So they didn't get back to the earth by birth. So Characharam Muttamu Narpalukku Uittanan. Narpalukku is they went to the destination of no return, namely Vaikuntham. So non-Mohanar Petra not today. Among the all cities created by Lord Brahma, the 4-faced Lord. So in this country, we have the important city called Ayodhya. So Endrum Pesugrabadiye. So Jangama, Sthavara, Vibhagama. There was no differentiation between the living beings, Jangama, rather movable objects, and Sthavara. In Tamil also we use the word same, Thavara, for plants, trees, creepers and so on. So Sthavara is remaining in one place, stays put in one place, and they are immovable things. That means non-living beings also. Sometimes we also say in botany that all the trees, creepers and plants live. They breathe. they sometimes behave like human beings. They are affectionate toward the person who rears them. So here you say some people grow the garden and the trees and creepers and plants. They love the owner of the garden. So Jangama Sthavara Vibhagamara. There was no differentiation between the living beings and non-living beings, the movable beings and the immovable beings. Now this is the question which we discussed with Keshav long ago, and it is what we call intriguing question in the minds of people, whether all people will get emancipation without the distinction of caste, religion. For example, not only Indians or foreigners. So we have an answer to this here. Upaya Adhikara Prasanga Rahitamana Jantukalayala. We are all creatures. We are all creatures in the sense we have life. We are living beings. And many of us do not have the opportunity to approach God. We don't have the inclination to go near God. We don't think of God. Sometimes we are atheistic. Sometimes we are indifferent. And we don't know our own right, RIGHT. We don't know what should be the process of, what the process should be to do Sharanagati. So neither we know Upaya, nor we understand our rights. And there is no context in which we can understand. There is no chance, opportunity for us to understand what is the Upaya, what is the Adhikara, what is our goal, human goal. Nobody knows. Many of us do not know. So when we are without the knowledge, Rahita is without. So we are all creatures, just like mindless beings that we see around us. Other than human beings, all lesser beings have no thoughts as refined as our own. So the thoughts are not there. Is there any God? Something like God. So GOD, what is GOD? We may not understand. Is there something called God? And we don't know about the power of creation. We do not even get to wonder at the different creations. We are looking at the creation, but we are not surprised how these are all beautiful creations. And then you have, after the 3, number 4, so we will take up the footnotes and then explain about Vishayavasam. Vishayavasame illada. Now, let us take the Sanskrit verse for 5. Maybe it goes to the next page. 5 will go to the next page. We will read the poem. This is Varadarajastavam of Kuratalva. It is 69. So that is in Sanskrit here earlier. I think it should have gone to the next page. Okay. All right. But let us see the meaning in Tamil. So Thiruvaimozhi of this what we saw as the first verse in page 26 in Tamil. So we are now seeing Purpa Mudalai Pullarumbadi Undindiye. For that, we are seeing the meaning in the footnote. It is number star. Another one. So 7th decade, 5th decade, again, first verse. Ayodhiyil வாழ்கின்ற பரந்து வளர்கிற புல் அற்பமாகிய எறும்பு. So we always consider that it is not as important as a human being. an ant. An ant is not very important to our life. But we can learn a lesson from the ants. Many lessons from the ants. Now, have you observed the ants going in a row? They are disciplined a lot. They always go in a particular line. And when they go in a single line, a single file, yes, they meet each other. They meet each other. I would also say they greet each other. They sometimes, as I say, kiss each other out of love, affection. Then they have a message conveyed by their contact. They have a language. In Ramayana, you find that Kaikeyi's father had the knowledge of ant language. He knew the ant language. He could understand what ants speak to each other. That was a great beauty there. And by the way, I'll tell you the incident also. Kekeya king's wife, the queen, saw that the king is laughing, smiling when he was near him, near her. And the queen asked the king, "Oh husband, please tell me why you laughed, why you smiled." He said, I heard ants speak and I understand the language, and therefore I had a humor with in the conversation of ants, and then I laughed. What was the conversation between the ants? She insisted to know, but he refused. So he refused to convey the message of the ants. And it is special skill which he cannot reveal to others. That is his, of course, rather right to keep to himself the knowledge of ant language. And the king said, if I reveal to you the conversation of between the ants, I will die. My head will split into smithereens, will break into the hundreds of pieces. The queen said, even if it happens, I want to know what the ants spoke with each other. That is why we say Kaikeyi is the chip of the old block. Kaikeyi had the attitude of the mother, and Kaikeyi did not simply care for Dasharatha's life, husband's life, even when it was in great danger. By asking the boon, Rama should go to the forest for 14 years. So this is the background that we say. So we also always say that the ant is something tiny, flimsy, and of not any of no importance and so on. So Arpamahi Erumbu Mudalana, Ella Characharangalium, all movable and immovable beings, அவைகளுக்கு மோட்ச சாதனமான உபாயம் ஒன்றும் இல்லாதிருக்க செய்தேயும். The animals, the lesser creatures, they do not know what is Sharanagati. What Sharanagati is, what Shastra is, what scripture is. So they do not know the process of the Sharanagati. They do not know the spelling of Sharanagati. They do not know how to reach moksha, how not to be born again. So they do not know anything. But still, they don't do anything. So, ஒன்றுமில்லாதற்கு செய்தேயும் பிரம்மாதிகளின் அதிகாரத்திற்கு கீழ்ப்பட்ட இந்த நாட்டிலேயே. So, Brahma has created the world. While creating the world, we know according to our own Shastras that there are some aspects fixed for any birth. That is, lifespan, the money involved, the income, the qualification, the knowledge, and two or more things. And they are all fixed, meaning for each, say for example, animal, either dog or elephant or lion or tiger, if you read zoology, you understand that there are some specific lifespans, how long these animals would live. So, by transgressing such rules made by Lord Creator while creating the world, Rama, as an incarnation of Lord Mahavishnu, took all of them to moksha. பிரம்மாதிகளின் அதிகாரத்துக்கு கீழ்ப்பட்ட இந்த நாட்டிலேயே, even in the country or city where Brahma has overall control, Lord Rama helped all people to go to moksha. பரமபதத்தில் உள்ளார் அடையும் பலத்தை அடையும்படி செய்தார். Maybe intermediary Kaivalya moksha, you cannot, of course, interpret like this, but whatever fruit a Vaikunthavasi will get out of living there would also be available to all the non-living beings and living beings of Ayodhya. That's the meaning given here. So, பரமபதத்தில் உள்ளார் அடையும் பலத்தை அடையும்படி செய்தார். So, the other words are very easy to understand. As I told you, Jangama Sthavara Vibhaga, அசையும் பொருள் அசையா பொருள் என்கிற வித்தியாசம் இல்லாமல், அற இல்லாதபடி, உபாய அதிகார பிரசங்க ரகித. So, all the creatures have no knowledge, have no power to understand. So, அறிவு சக்தி முதலிய ஒன்றுமே இல்லாமையால் இது ஒரு உபாயத்தை அனுஷ்டிக்கலாம் என்று எண்ணக்கூட முடியாது. They have no thought of what they would like to do as upaya to Sharanagati or upaya to moksha. They don't understand. They don't think of it at all. It is not under the purview of their life. They have no knowledge about it. They are ignorant of all the Shastras. Then what is the reason why they could get the moksha? By the blessings of God plus Deshatil Vasipade Karanamaha. Because they lived in Ayodhya, the very life in Ayodhya made them go to moksha. Now, so this next quotation number 5, or the footnote number 5, we are going to read the Varadaraja Stavam. So as I just now told you, Kanchipuram is the important Kshetram out of the 7 cities where Varadaraja is in Archa form. The very word Varada, as you know, giver of boons. And again, among the givers of boons, he is the king. So Varada Raja, Varadanam, Varadeshu Raja. So he is the king Raja. He is the king of people, gods who give boons. You can say Brahma gives boons, Shiva gives boons. So many boons are given, and by so many others also. But he is Varadaraja. And we are going to read the Sanskrit part of it instead of footnote. Of course, we are going to read the last word in the page 26 in the text Moolam, original. Vishayavasame. We go to the page, next page, 27. விஷயவாசமே பற்றாசாக பின்பு ரட்சிக்கும் பிரகாரத்திற்கு புறஞ்செயலான. So, what we think as human beings is, let us enjoy the pleasures of the world. We have been born as human beings. Let us not avoid the pleasures as Shastra would like us to do. Let us not control our sense organs. Let us always smell inhale the smell of the worldly pleasures. Vishaya vasame patrasha. Now let us read Sanskrit after 60. Let us understand Shastras after retirement. Let us postpone understanding the concept of spirituality later in our life as we approach death. So in that way, so Pindu Rakshikam Prakaratirku. So let us not worry about the next world. Let us not wait for, after Bharanyasam. Yeah. So while we think of doing Bharanyasam at the feet of the divine feet of the preceptor, we always go late. We don't do it at the young age. So Rakshikam Prakaratirku. At the old age, suddenly we come to realize that we must have some protection in the next world. Otherwise, we will sometimes when we happen to unfortunately read the portions in the Srimad Bhagavatam that we will fall into hell, then we get afraid, terribly afraid. We have a morbid fear in our mind that then we start thinking of God at the advanced age. And then, now the next statement is from Ramayana. And this is also an answer to Vali's question to Rama. So now with regard to the protection that we need, that the thing that we need after we become old is what we call insecurity feeling. The feeling of insecurity at the old age. We have no one to protect us. We have no one to help. Whereas the first step of total surrender is helplessness. We must feel helpless even earlier. But at the young age, we always think that we carry out all activities and we are responsible for our activities. We have the right to do everything and so on. And whereas at the old age, when we become decrepit, then when we become disabled, when we become weak in our sense organs, then we are thinking of God, protection, and so on. So now, when we started, right, at least at the old age, we have started thinking of doing surrender. Then what we do is, we shove the responsibility, S-H-O-V-E, shove the responsibility to the Lord and say, oh Lord, you must protect us. There is no other way. We cannot help ourselves. Therefore, te vayam bhavata rakshyaha. Vayam, we all, bhavata rakshyaha, have to be protected by you. Bhavata, by you, rakshyaha should be protected. Why? Why should you protect all of us? Because te vayam, we belong to you. You created us. Tava asmi. In singular we say tava asmi. In plural bahuvachanam we say te vayam. That's all. All of us belong to you. All of us are your friends. All of us are your servants. All of us are your brothers. All of us are your children. Tvameva matacha pita tvameva. Tvameva bandhuscha gurus tvameva. Ramanujacharya in his Gadyam, Sharanagati Gadyam says, gurus tvameva. Generally we say sakat tvameva. Tvameva matacha pita tvameva. Tvameva bandhuscha sakat tvameva. Tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva. Tvameva sarvam mamadeva deva. That's what we normally say. But whereas Ramanujacharya says, Tvameva Gurus Tameva. Tameva Mata च पिता Tameva. Tameva sorry, Tameva Mata च पिता Tameva. Tameva Bandhuscha Gurus Tameva. You are my teacher, you are my preceptor. We belong to you. Therefore, you have to protect us. Now, after realization, we slowly give up our contact with the pleasures of this world. And then now we are concentrating on your subject. That is your topic. We always discuss now spirituality. We now think about reading books on God. So now Bhavad Vishaya Vasina. Previously, we were engaged fully, forgetting God, forgetting there is one supreme ruler. And then now we started thinking of only you, Bhavad Vishaya Vasina. Now the sages come to Rama, surrender to him, and they always appeal to him by penance. We don't see all the sages coming to Rama and falling at his feet in the forest, because all of them have already done penance towards Lord Sriman Narayana, praying that he must protect all of them. And therefore, there is no necessity for them to physically come and surrender at the feet of Rama in the forest. And therefore, they always had the feeling, they always had the right attitude of saying, Nagarasthova Vanasthova, Nagarastho Vanasthova, Tamno Raja Janeshwara. The tribal, namely Guha, also felt the same. Whether Rama is king in Ayodhya, capital city, governing the Kosala kingdom, he is also king of the forest. All the area of forest are also under the jurisdiction of the kingdom of Kosala, rather Ayodhya Raja, king, and especially Rama. If there is an apprehension, if there is a doubt, if there is a samshaya, sandeha for someone, this is to clear how Rama should be approached. So whether he is in city or not, as a citizen, Nagarastha, Vanastha, whether he is in the forest, he says, all the sages say, Tamno Raja Janeshwara. You are the king of human beings, and you are our king. Tvam, you, Naha, our, O you are, and Raja, the king. You are our king. There is no doubt about it. Because only doubt in the mind of Vali was when Rama killed him, they sent an arrow towards his chest, and he fell down, and then he was talking to Rama. He said, Kishkinda Rajyam is our kingdom. It is a monkey kingdom. How can a human being rule over a monkey kingdom? How can Rama or Bharata can rule us or rule over us? You have no jurisdiction. You have your area is limited. My kingdom is my kingdom. You cannot have the right to come and do anything here, and especially hit me. Vali argued with Rama. And this statement must be taken as an answer to Vali's question. Whether somebody is in city or in the forest, as a monkey in the Kishkinda kingdom, the area is included under the Kosala kingdom. In fact, we can say, as in Paduka Rajyam it is mentioned, that Paduka, the divine sandals of Rama, protected all the three worlds, Swargam, Bhumihi, and Patalam. The heaven, the earth, and the netherworld. So for all that, Paduka, the divine sandal, ensured welfare, and therefore you cannot say Rama was not the king of Kishkinda. So என்கிற ரிஷிகளின் வாக்கியத்தின் படியே, so as the sages said these words, so அவர்களுக்கு விரோதிகளான ராட்சசரை நிராகரி. So Rama removed the troubles by killing the demons. விரோதிகளான ராட்சசரை. The demons were the enemies of those sages, and they were always giving troubles to the sages, and therefore niraharit. So he avoided them, he removed them, he made them run away, he stopped them from giving trouble to the sages and so on. Now, before going to the footnote, I think we have not seen the Varadarajastavam in the previous page. Okay, yeah. So this is Kuratalvan's statement. Kuresha's Varadarajastavam. So he says, Tvam amananti kavayaha karuna amrita abdhe karunamrita abdhe jnanakriya bhajana labhyam alabhyam anyehi eteshu kena varada uttarakosalasthaha purvam sadurvam abhajantahi jantavaha tvam. Very beautiful statement as per the words of Ramayana. So Kavayaha, poets. Now, how can you say the poet's words are very important? Kuratalvan was a good poet. He wrote the Panchastavam. Sristavam, Atimanushastavam, Varadarajastavam, Sundarabahustavam, and so on. So five, and this is because he calls himself Kavihi, Kavayaha. Now, you can also have a small spelling change and say you can also Kapayaha. Sugriva surrendered to Rama in Ramayana, as you understand. So the monkeys came for shelter. Sugriva, under the head of Sugriva. Sugriva, along with his retinue, came under the divine feet of Rama. So you can say Kapayaha. Okay, so Kavayaha meaning, please understand Bhagavad Gita in the 11th chapter where Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, namely, in the Vishwarupa subject, namely, Kavinam Ushana Kavihi. I am the Shukracharya among the poets. Kavinam Ushana Kavihi. Ushana is Shukracharya. Shukracharya, the word Shukra, as you know, the Friday, the Venus planet. The Venus planet is called Shukra. And Shukra is Vellikirama, Friday. Shukracharya is the guru of all the demons. So that means as Shukracharya represents all the poets, because he is the chief poet according to Lord Krishna himself, he made a statement. Among the all living beings or non-living beings, Lord Krishna is the best. And Lord Krishna compares himself to the Shukracharya, the teacher of the preceptor of the demons. And when they say it is law, when Shukracharya says anything, it is law. The law must be enforced by demons, on the demons and by the demons. And gods also follow Shukracharya. So there is a particular book called Shukraniti in Mahabharata. Shukraniti is what are the rules of ethics by Shukracharya. So that means a very, very great man's statement is like a scripture. And the scriptures also are called poems. You find many couplets in the scriptures. So all the poets, all the authors of scriptures, in the sense, all the writers of scriptures, the scriptures are not man-made. The scriptures came out of the exhaling air from the nostrils of Lord Sriman Narayana, and therefore they are not productions. They are not human productions. And therefore, when we see the poem in the scripture, we understand. So, Kavayaha Tvam Amananti. The word Amananti is a peculiar word which is used only for a scriptural statement. Amananti means simply say, S-A-Y. But Kavayaha Amananti meaning, so it is almost or equal or sometimes better than or more than the seriousness of the scriptural statement. So all the scriptures, all the shastras, all the poets, all preceptors, Tvam Amananti, say about you that you are the Lord. So now, so how do they address your? How does Kurat Alman Kuresha address the Lord? Karuna Amrita Abdhe. You are the ocean of nectar, divine nectar. You are the ocean of liquid ambrosia. And that liquid ambrosia is nothing but your grace. Karuna Amritam. Your mercy is our honey. And you are the ocean of honey, ocean of sweetness, which is full of sympathy, compassion, and so on. So, because you are the ocean of mercy, all living beings and non-living beings are very happy in this world and the other worlds. But one thing, you cannot be approached by anybody, Tom, Dick, and Harry. Alabhyam anyehi. You are not accessible by others. Whereas you have to be approached, you can be accessible only by Jnana, Kriya, Bhajana, Labhyam. So you are available only by knowledge. So through wisdom you can be understood. So Kriya by Karma Yoga, by doing our duty, Lord can be understood, you can be understood. So Bhajanam, when we recite the divine names of the God, we can touch his heart and understand. Bhajanam, bhaj is to touch. So Lord touches your heart, we touch his heart, and then so we can understand. So Lord can be understood only by three ways. Either Jnana Yoga, the path of discipline of wisdom, Kriya, the Karma Yoga, the discipline of action, and Bhajanam, Nama Sankirtanam, recitation of the names repeatedly of the Lord. Otherwise, he is not accessible. Now, Eteshu, in these, what we call actions, activities, Varada Uttara Kosalasthaha. So, Kena meaning by Brahma. So, Varada is, Varadaraja. Varadaraja song is the main subject of the poem. Varada, hey Varada, Uttara, it's a Sambodhana Prathama Bhakti, addressing the Lord. Hey Varada, Uttara Kosalasthaha. There are two parts of the kingdom. When Kausalya married Dasharatha, one part of the kingdom was granted to the son-in-law by the father-in-law, that is Kausalya's father, and therefore it's called the North Kausala kingdom, Uttara Kausalastha. There is also Dakshina Kausalastaha is there. So that has been retained by father of Kausalya. And therefore, her name Kausalya itself shows that she is a daughter of the Kausala kingdom. So, He Varada, Uttara Kausalastaha, those who are living, the citizens of Uttara Kausala kingdom, Purvam Tvam Abhajanta. Purvam earlier, Tvam you, Abhajanta approached, meditated on you, Tvam. Who are those people under the North Kausala kingdom? Jantavaha, creatures. Creatures including the human beings, all living beings. So Jantavaha Tvam Abhajanta. Now he is asking a question. Kuresha asking a question to the Lord. Did they not approach you? Didn't the creatures of Uttara Kausala kingdom approach you? How did they approach you? How did they reach you? Rather reach here, you can say reach. How did they reach you? Because Sadurvam, the exact meaning of the word that we saw in Thiruvaimozhi, Purpa Mudala Ayodhil, so pull, the grass. Durva is the name of the grass. Especially the Darba grass is called also in Durva. Durva is Arhampul. Durva is Arhampul, which is used for Vinayaka worship. So Durva is grass, is a type of grass. So Sadurvam, and all the living beings and non-living beings reached you in the incarnation, as the incarnation came to a close of Rama. Then it was not recognized by even Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma had a surprise. So what is the reason why these creatures reached you? That is because you are accessible only to Jnana Kriya Bhajana Labhyam. Though you are approachable only by the path of wisdom, path of action, and path of meditation of names, but still, how did these people reach you? So that is the question by Kuresha, meaning that Vararaja's greatness is very much. The greatness is so great that the Varadaraja could grant the boon of moksha to all creatures. So this is 5, footnote number 5. And so let us take page 27, the second paragraph from the next session.
Swami,
yeah.
Can I ask about there are three gunas, right?
Yeah.
Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas.
Yeah.
Are these not considered to be here in this material world? These are material things.
Yeah.
Yes. So then, how can you say that the Paramapada is made of a material thing? Sattva. Is it not a different type of sattva? Is it a better type of sattva?
No, it is the same type of sattva. Though even here when you say Shuddha sattva, meaning Shuddha sattva. So sattva, rajas, tamas are in this world, materialistic world. But again, we remind ourselves that they are not materials as such, what we call tangible materials. They are abstract concepts that the quality is more important than what we call the quantity. Then Vaikuntham is made up of, Paramapadam is made up of Sattvam. It's not a question of, we add some Visheshanam, adjective, Shuddha Sattvam. The same word Shuddha Sattvam is available here in this world also. One example I will give you, even in our human being's body, all the three qualities are there, and all the three qualities, again, we don't say Shuddha Rajas and Shuddha Tamas. And in the same way, so because Rajas and Tamas are little dirty, in quality. So rather lesser in quality, inferior in quality. And whereas Sattva, what we have, what we possess is Shuddha Sattva only. And one more example is, of course, we cannot understand that our body has got Shuddha Sattva, but we can understand Rajas and Tamas very easily. In the case of Archavatara of temples, the whole Vigraha in every temple is Shuddha Sattva, rather Sattva. Sattva is Shuddha Sattva. There's no question of Shuddha Sattva and something opposite to Shuddha Sattva is available in this materialistic world. It is not a different Sattva between this and that world. Sattva is Sattva. But we add one more adjective, that's all. There is when you say Lakshmi, we don't say Lakshmi, Mahalakshmi. So in that way, Indra can be called Mahendra, Maha-Indra. But Vishnu is not called Vishnu, Mahavishnu. In order to just say, you don't accept the supremacy of Vishnu, then you cannot call him Mahavishnu. In that way, so in order to stress the importance of the greatness of a particular, say, object or quality, then we say Maha, Maha, Maha.
Okay, so you're talking about adding an adjective. The thing is, but you said Lakshmi, we don't, Mahalakshmi and Lakshmi are the same.
Yeah.
You're saying Surasattva and Sattva are the same.
Right.
It is just an Visheshana, it's just an adjective in Sanskrit. But what about, but we do have other types of Lakshmi also. Sometimes we talk about this Chenchu Lakshmi. Chenchu Lakshmi was not actually Lakshmi. According to Vasantika Parinayam by Ahobilam Majjir, that story is that that Chenchu Lakshmi was an Apsara, no?
Yeah, Chenchu Lakshmi is also, Mahalakshmi. And Chenchu Lakshmi, being, of course, she is not heard much in the Puranas. Lord Narasimha's consort is called Chenchu Lakshmi. And Chenchu Lakshmi, we don't know the meaning of the word Chenchu also, I think. So,
Chenchus are tribals in Ahobilam.
Yeah, tribal, yeah. Because he was in Ahobilam, it's a forest. So we say forest Lakshmi, Chenchu Lakshmi. And again, whether it is forest or city, Lakshmi is same. No. Chenchu Lakshmi is as Sattva Vigraha, Shuddha Sattva Vigraha, if you want to say, as Mahalakshmi. So Chenchu Lakshmi is never inferior.
But we
Vasantika Parinayam, when you quote Vasantika Parinayam, the drama there, and of course that is of course the drama. It's a drama. Therefore, they say Chenchu Lakshmi may be called forest tribal Mahalakshmi. In the sense, please understand the beauty of the forest is called Lakshmi. Please understand, Lakshmi means beauty. The forest beauty, he said. The forest beauty. For example, as we say in a poem, lyrical beauty, the word beauty, the meaning beauty, that is Arthalankara, Shabdalankara, and so on. The same way, forest beauty. It's we say in regard to nymphs of the heaven, celestial nymphs, we say. Celestial nymphs. Apsaras, when we say Apsaras, celestial nymphs. That means there are nymphs in here also. And we have what we call Kinnara Mithunam among the gods, Kinnara Mithunam. So we have, so these are is a pair of a man and a woman. They are beautiful. They are very beautiful. Kinder. So there are some, what do you call, we attach a lot of importance. As you said, Chenchu Lakshmi, we have got Ashtalakshmi also. Dhana Lakshmi, Dhanya Lakshmi, Veera Lakshmi, Aishwarya Lakshmi.
Right, but my point was that we read a story that there was some Apsara who was dancing, and she was very nicely dancing, and she asked for a boon. She asked for a boon, and Lakshmi has given the boon to her that she can marry Narasimha.
Oh,
But she also cursed her to be a Chenchu, to be a tribal.
yeah.
So so can we understand that this Chenchu Lakshmi is a tribal, or was an Apsara, or is it Lakshmi, another form of Lakshmi? Why Lakshmi will curse herself?
All the three answers are put together. In Apsara, if you call it, so Apsaras, that means what you call the goddess of forest, the nymph of the forest. So when she appealed to Mahalakshmi, she granted the boon that she can become the wife of. Now, in the same way, Bhuma is, as you say, in Bhudevi is again what you call the goddess of earth. We say it's all when you say when you say personification, when you do personification of earth, we say goddess of earth, Bhuma Devi. So also Neela Devi, the goddess of grains. So now, as you said, Chenchu Lakshmi is as good as another form of Lakshmi.
So, and again, we have, getting back to that point about Sattva, the Kala is time, but Kala is supposed to be a material element. Yeah. So in the Paramapada, there's no Kala.
Yeah. Kala is material only in this world. Kala is not, the Kala is immaterial in that world. So Kala is itself abstract.
Right. This is why I was surprised when you said Sattva is here and also is there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Kala is here and Kala is not there.
Kala is under control there. Whereas Kala is controlling us here. The time is controlling us here, whereas the time has no influence in the next world, Paramapada. And therefore,
but does it exist? But does it exist there?
Yeah, it is there. It is there. It is there. One of the 25 principles, and Kala is sometimes included there. Kala is there. And Kala is under the control of the Lord. He can make and mar.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
Swami, your question. This is regarding Paduka Sahasram. I want to know what is Agramani Mala, and also learning Paduka Sahasram has got Agramani Mala, first two lines of each Paddhati. Is it the same as learning saying Paduka Sahasram? The power is powerful, is that?
As she just now said, Shuddha Sattvam is Sattvam in both worlds. இது வந்து அக்ரன்னா முன்னாடின்னு அர்த்தம்.
Okay.
அக்ரன்னா in front of, அதாவது earlier, before, இதெல்லாம் அக்ரன்னா முன்னாடி. அதாவது அக்ரன்னா what is more important அல்லது immediately important. அதாவது நாம வந்து பாதுகா சாஸ்திரம் 1008 இருக்கு. We have got 1008 verses. So instead of going through all the 1008 verses, we have a concession to go through a small portion of the Paduka Sahasram. And Paduka Sahasram and Agramani Mala Paduka Sahasram are one and the same. Okay. The same verses are repeated here, but there are two points of difference. When we, the Paduka Sahasram, when we recite the whole 1008, we have got a lot of advantages. One, the best advantage is rain. When we need rain, we can recite the whole of 1008 Paduka Sahasram.
I see. Okay.
And that is one advantage, great advantage for the whole public,
Mm.
the entire society.
Mm.
You want to ensure the welfare of the world, and you need rain. So you pray for rain by reciting Paduka Sahasram, all the 1008.
Mm.
Now, Agramani Mala Stotram, you are selecting gems from, out of 1008 gems, all of them are gems.
Yeah.
So you don't pick a better gem or a more valuable gem like that. But because of your necessity, your what you call requirement of this life.
Mm.
There are so many demands from the devotees while they go to the temple. So our prayers must be answered. So now they have selected a garland of gems, same verses from Paduka Sahasram, and they put it before the book, before the text, 1008, and then say, let us recite these at least a few, so that we will get some advantages listed there, mentioned there. Each advantage is mentioned there.
Okay.
And okay, thank you, Venugopal. Sorry. So here, so Agramani Mala Stotram, I think I found in some other book also, Agramani Mala, meaning it is earlier, easy to recite,
Yeah.
small to say, and it has got the same effect of reciting Paduka Sahasram.
Okay, Swami.
And we have some specific prayers. We have some demands to meet, and therefore, so we say these words. And LIFCO, as you know, published as what we call Paduka Sahasram Manimala, something like that. Paduka Sahasram, they have published a small book where under each head a sloka is given there, and the heads are like this. The titles are like to get married, to get a job, to get children, in that way, to get a good education, knowledge. So instead of reading the Hayagriva Stotram, you can 33, you can read one of them from Paduka Sahasram. So many demands, Vyadhi Tira, in order to get out of the disease. So this is what you call Agramani Mala.
Especially you said yesterday, you said the Paduka is more valuable than the Perumal Tiruvadi itself. Is more. Right.
Now, again, the point there is Bhagavata Seva is more important than the Bhagavad Seva. Service to God is lesser than the service to the devotee. So Paduka being the sandal, divine sandal being the devotee of the Lord, devotee of the divine feet of the Lord, therefore it's more important, more valuable. And the Lord becomes happy on our service to the devotee rather than himself. Sometimes what I give you as answer is as far as I know. I may be subject to correction, and I may if other elders say something opposite to what I said, they must be accepted and I must be rejected. This is always a warning given by any speaker like us.
Our Guru Swami.
Generally, one small story is given while crossing a river. The Guru said to the disciples, you remember always your Guru's name and cross the flooding river. And then all the disciples crossed the river and went to the other bank. And whereas the Guru himself did not have the faith in his guru, and then he had a doubt and he got drowned. That's what he said. So in that way, so strictly following the guru is also one merit, and we sometimes we argue like this in Sadas, Sribhashya Sadas. Whatever my Acharya said is right, and whatever others say is wrong. So this is what we try to establish. And there is always argument and counter arguments. Bahubhya Shrotavyam, Bahudha Shrotavyam is. We have to listen to many people, and we have to listen to the same preceptor giving in different interpretations.
रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम् कवितार्किकसिंहाय कल्याणगुणशालिने श्रीमते वेङ्कटेशाय वेदान्तगुरवे नमः சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.